Today we meet here to celebrate the life of Sherry Wixom. We look upon her life as we give thanks for her and wish her well, now that her time in this world has come to an end. For Sherry, the journey is just beginning. But for here on earth, for us, there's loss, there's grief, and there is pain. Every one of us here has been affected, perhaps in small ways, or perhaps in transformative ways. But either way, Sherry has mattered to all of us here. It is important for us to collectively acknowledge and accept that the world is fundamentally changed with her passing. We are all grieving. Life will not be the same, nor should it be. Together, let us open our hearts and commemorate the impact that Sherry made on each one of us in its own special way. I tried to come up with some things to keep it kind of light and not so churchy-like because, you know, when I knew Sherry, she was more of a wild spirit, more of a spiritual type of a person. And I didn't want to be all this, you know, all this stuff, because I knew that Sherry would probably have a bird fly over and poop on me or something. So I wanted to do something, and I came up, I found this little couple poems, but this one really touched me because I thought about her. I do not think my song will end while flowers, grass, and trees abound with birds and butterflies, for I am one with these. And I believe my voice will sound upon the whispering wind, so long as even one remains among those I call friend. I shall remain in the hearts and minds of loved ones that I knew, and in the rocks and hills and streams, because I love those too. So long as love and hope and dreams abide in earth and sky, weep not for me, though I be gone. I shall not really die. You know, there are a few things about Sherry that I can come up with. You know, I went to school with Sherry. I was a few years older. I think she was a freshman when I was a senior in high school. And, you know, a lot of people always say, well, I didn't remember her, or I didn't remember him, or, you know, I tried to always remember everybody, and I do remember Sherry. I do remember Sherry. But there were some things that I didn't know about her that I was able to learn. Sherry loved NASCAR. Now, who would think that Sherry would love something that just keeps going around in circles? You know, I didn't quite get that, but she loved NASCAR. She really loved it. And the biggest thing that you saw when you came upon Sherry was her smile. That smile just lit up a room whenever she came in. And another thing, I had come from church this morning, and I said to my wife, Sandy, I said, I got to find something bright. Because I said Sherry loved bright colors. So I said, I'm going to wear this brightly colored sweatshirt in the summer because Sherry would love it. Because she'd want to see bright colors because that's what Sherry loved. She loved purple hair. She loved day glow, brightly colored shoes. You know, she loved color therapy. She was a firm believer of it. Every bit of her life was about that. And she loved Jell-O shots. Yes. She loved pudding shots. Yes. And so much so that her and Steve drove to my house one day out of the blue to bring me 6 pudding shots. Because I had put out on Facebook on her site that I was going to come and grab Jell-O shots and pudding shots from her. So her and Steve drove all the way to Novi to give us some pudding shots. I was going to bring something for her today, Steve, but I didn't know how to make them. That's why I wanted her to make them for me, see? So, you know, they say in life, we fall in love 3 times. The first time is usually when we're in high school. You know, we always think, oh, that's the one. Oh, you start talking about baby names. You know, you're 16 and you're in love and you're going to have babies in a picket fence in a beautiful house. And then all of a sudden, it goes away. And then the second one, the second person that you usually fall in love with, that's the one that gives you the lessons. Sometimes they're heartbreak. Sometimes it's lessons on true love. Sometimes it's lessons on, how to be a better person. And if that one doesn't last, there's the third type of love. Now that love is the love that comes up and kind of smacks you in the face that you're like, whoa, I didn't realize that. I never experienced that before. And that was the love that she shared with Steve. That love was long growing, because if I remember correctly, they liked each other back in high school. It just wasn't the right time in the universe. The universe was not, Steve wasn't brightly colored enough. I think that might have been it. I don't know, but I'm thinking that might have been it. Except when you wore, as Brenda Harper was telling me, those really short shorts back in the 80s, Yeah, I remember.
We don't remember
those,
that.
Cut up to here. You look like you wore Daisy Dukes. So finally, Sherry decided to take a chance, move up home, move back up here to move in with Steve, which really scared Steve, because she wanted to repaint his all beige house with brightly colors. And I think it scared Steve a little bit. I think it really did. But that's okay, because Sherry was always happy. And I think that's what Steve wanted. Steve wanted to see Sherry happy. And Sherry wanted to see Steve happy. Because happiness wasn't something that Sherry always had in her life. So she chose to be happy, which is something that we all have that opportunity to choose to be happy. And she chose to be happy, and you saw it. Yeah, she had her down moments, she had her down times, but usually there was always a smile. There was always a sharing of a smile. And she always spread that happiness to everyone that she came in contact with. Sherry has crossed over into that border. She's on another experience. Her reality is beautiful. Her reality is now joy and happiness every single day. And for us, it's important that we come together like this and do things like this, because this is what shows us how much Sherry touched each one of us. By the smiles we give to each other, by the happiness and the hugs we give each other. And, Sherry will always be remembered for her kind words, her smiles, her quirky sayings, the quirky little things she would do. Steve, you were her love. You were her person. She loved you very much. We honor her life. We celebrate her life. This is not a sad occasion. This should be a celebration of this life. If you've gone in there and looked at these pictures, I don't think I've seen one where there wasn't that smile. I don't think there was one where she wasn't joyous and happy. We want you to know that we want you to keep looking down upon us, Sherry. We want you to keep giving us those little nudges and those taps on the shoulders of joy and happiness. The death of every one of us is a natural thing. It follows life as sure as summer follows spring. I want you guys to look at the tree. Look at this tree that's right here, and I want you to look at it and think of this tree as a symbol. The trunk of the tree and the branches all represent the human race, okay? And each leaf that comes off of the tree represents the men and women of that human race, okay? These leaves here will appear one spring. They live a beautiful life for a summer, and then they die off in the fall, and new things come up the next year. And the physical presence of Sherry is gone. That's true. But her tree remains. You are all part of that tree in one way or another. You're all part of that. And each time new friends come to you, that is new leaves that grow and begin to grow this family, this tree of life that we know as Sherry. I want us to live our lives fully because I know Sherry would want us to live our lives fully. Every butterfly you see, think of Sherry. Every young person that you see with brightly purple, pink, green, or yellow hair, think of Sherry. Every time you see a car race around in NASCAR, think of Sherry. That's what we're supposed to do. Never let those people leave. Because in everything, if we can find something of them in every little thing, their memory lives on. I want you guys to also help each other in grieving and supporting each other through that. Because you know, we all grieve differently. Not everybody grieves the same. Some of us will cry now, some of us will cry later. Some of us may never cry until that one day some memory comes and all of a sudden, wow. So remember Sherry. And also remember that, you know, we often take life for granted. And what I want you guys to do is remember that that is the greatest gift we're ever given, is life. So always remember to hug each other, love each other, smile at each other, and give each other peace. I will end this with these final words that I came up and I thought of Sherry. I fall asleep in the full and certain hope that my slumber shall not be broken, and that though I be all forgetting, yet shall I not be all forgotten, but continue that life in the thoughts and deeds of those I have loved. Thank you for being here today and celebrating. My condolences to everybody of the family. Sherry was a wonderful, wonderful young person. And she will not be forgotten. She's always here. And Steve, I love you, my friend. Thank you. God bless you all. Peace to every one of you.